My beloved child, something has shifted behind the scenes, and your soulmate has just received news that could change the way they see everything, including you. Don't skip, because the first sign of this change is not going to look dramatic at all. It may appear as silence, a sudden realization, an unexpected message, or a moment when they finally understand what they almost lost. But stay till the end, because there is one part of this story you absolutely need to hear before you decide what happens next. Your soulmate has been carrying a thought they could not fully explain, and now something has happened that brought that thought directly to the surface. For a long time, they may have tried to convince themselves that they could simply move forward, forget the connection, and act as though nothing truly changed. But something has interrupted that mindset. A piece of information, a realization, or an unexpected development has forced them to look back at the moments they tried to leave behind. And here is where it becomes powerful. The news they received is not only about their life, it is making them reconsider the place you hold in it. Something huge is waiting for you, but you have to remain patient because the biggest revelation has not arrived yet. The emotional wall they built is beginning to crack, and what comes through that opening may surprise you more than you expect. Listen carefully, my beloved child, because the ending of one chapter does not always mean the end of the connection, it can mean the end of the confusion surrounding it. Your soulmate is beginning to see a truth that was difficult for them to accept before. The situation they thought was permanent may no longer be what they believed it was. The delay, the distance, and the unanswered questions are reaching a turning point. Don't skip now. Stay till the end, because the next sign may reveal why everything had to unfold this way before this moment could arrive. Something has finally changed, and once your soulmate understands what that change truly means, their next decision could become the moment you have been waiting to hear about. Part 2. My beloved child, the silence is beginning to speak, and what it is revealing may be far more powerful than any message you could receive. Something has happened in your soulmate's world that has made them pause and reconsider the path they were taking. The certainty they once carried is no longer as strong. A realization has entered their mind, and now they cannot simply pretend they never saw it. Don't skip, because this is where the energy of the entire story begins to change. They are starting to understand that some connections cannot be replaced simply because time passes. There is another layer you need to notice. Your soulmate may not immediately rush toward you, because this realization is forcing them to confront their own emotions first. They are replaying conversations, remembering moments, and wondering whether they made a decision too quickly. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the most important part has not been revealed yet. If this message is reaching you at the right moment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe so you can stay connected to the next part of this journey. But keep listening, because the next revelation goes deeper. Now comes the moment that could change everything. The news your soulmate received has created a before and after moment in their thinking. What once seemed impossible may suddenly feel possible. What they once ignored may now demand their attention. And while you may think their silence means nothing is happening, the opposite could be true. They are processing a realization that has become impossible to push aside. Don't scroll away now. Something is moving toward a decision, and when that decision finally becomes clear, you may understand why this entire chapter had to unfold before the next one could begin. Part 3. My beloved child, the moment you thought nothing was changing may be the exact moment everything started turning around. Your soulmate has reached a point where avoiding the truth is becoming harder than facing it. Something they recently learned has connected pieces that once seemed completely unrelated, and suddenly, memories of you are returning with a different meaning. Don't skip, because what happens next is not about chasing, forcing, or proving anything. It is about a realization becoming too powerful to ignore. Stay till the end, because there is one final shift in their thinking that you need to understand. Here is the surprising part: they are beginning to recognize the value of what they once took for granted. The distance may have given them time to compare what they expected with what they actually experienced. The distractions that once seemed important are losing their power, while the connection they tried to silence keeps returning to their thoughts. Something huge is waiting for you, but it may arrive differently than you imagined. It could begin with a simple sign, an unexpected conversation, or a sudden change in the way they communicate. And when that moment comes, pay attention to what is said between the words, because the truth may be hidden inside a very ordinary moment. But listen closely now, because this is where the story takes its strongest turn. Your soulmate is not simply remembering you, they are reconsidering what they believe about the future. The chapter that kept you waiting is reaching its final pages, and a new decision is forming behind the scenes. Don't scroll away. Stay till the end, because the next part will reveal what this realization could mean for the connection and why the news they received may have been the exact thing that finally changed their perspective. The waiting was not the whole story, it was only the part that prepared everything for what comes next. Part 3. My beloved child, something you could not see before is becoming impossible to ignore now. Your soulmate has reached an emotional crossroads, and one realization keeps pulling their attention back to you. They may have tried to stay distracted, remain silent, or convince themselves that everything was already settled, but the latest news has disturbed that certainty. Don't skip, because the next few moments reveal why this change matters. What they thought was finished may have only been waiting for the right moment to reveal its true meaning. There is a quiet transformation happening inside them. They are looking at the past differently, and the memories they once pushed aside are suddenly carrying more weight. A conversation they dismissed, a moment they underestimated, or a feeling they never fully explained may now be connecting the missing pieces. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the most unexpected part is that your soulmate may finally understand what your absence has been trying to teach them. Sometimes a person recognizes the value of a connection only after life removes the noise around it. And now, my beloved child, prepare yourself for the shift that changes the direction of this story. Your soulmate is approaching a decision, but this time the decision is coming from clarity rather than confusion. The chapter of uncertainty is beginning to close, and the next chapter could start with one simple action that carries a much deeper meaning. Don't scroll away now. What happens next may explain why the timing had to be delayed, why certain moments never happened before, and why this particular piece of news became the turning point they could no longer overlook. Part 4. My beloved child, this is the moment where the hidden pieces finally begin to connect. Your soulmate has been forced to look at a truth they could no longer postpone, and what they discovered has changed the way they see the connection between you. The chapter of uncertainty is beginning to close, but the next chapter may look completely different from anything you expected. Don't skip, because the strongest revelation is still ahead. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the final realization may explain why everything seemed so delayed before this moment. There is also something important you should understand. A real shift does not always arrive with a dramatic announcement. Sometimes it begins with a change in behavior, a sudden attempt to reconnect, or a message that seems simple but carries an entirely different intention. Your soulmate may now be realizing that silence did not erase the connection, it only gave both sides time to understand it. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who may need to hear these words, and subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. But don't leave yet, because the most important piece is still unfolding. Now prepare yourself, because the ending of this chapter may bring the clarity you have been waiting for. The news your soulmate received has created a decision point, and their next move could reveal whether they are finally ready to stop looking backward and start moving toward what truly matters. Something huge is waiting for you, but remember this: you do not need to force the moment. Let the truth reveal itself through actions. Stay till the end, because when the final sign appears, you may suddenly understand why the delay happened, why the distance existed, and why this story was never as finished as it seemed. Part 5. My beloved child, the moment you have been waiting for may be closer than you think, because your soulmate is reaching the point where thoughts must finally become actions. Something has changed in the way they view the past, and that change is creating a completely different possibility for the future. Don't skip, because this is where the silence begins to lose its meaning. The unanswered questions, the distance, and the uncertainty are no longer standing exactly where they once did. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the final truth may be much simpler, and much more powerful, than you imagined. Look carefully at what happens next. The first sign may not arrive as a dramatic confession. It may be a small opening, an unexpected conversation, a familiar name appearing at the right moment, or an attempt to discover whether the door between you is still open. Your soulmate may finally understand that moving forward does not require pretending the past never mattered. And that realization can change everything. What they received has given them a reason to reconsider a decision they once believed was final, and now they are standing between what they used to believe and what their heart is beginning to recognize. But here is the revelation you cannot afford to miss. The real ending is not necessarily the ending of your connection, it may be the ending of the confusion surrounding it. My beloved child, prepare yourself for clarity. If your soulmate truly means to return, their actions will begin speaking louder than promises. Don't scroll away now. Stay till the end of this journey, because the next chapter will reveal what happens when realization becomes movement, when silence becomes communication, and when the story that looked finished begins showing signs that it may have another chapter waiting. Part 6. My beloved child, this is where the story takes its most unexpected turn, because the person who once seemed uncertain may finally be seeing the situation with completely different eyes. Something has shifted inside your soulmate, and they are beginning to understand that some decisions carry consequences long after the moment has passed. Don't skip, because the next realization could change the entire meaning of what came before. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the truth may arrive through a simple action that says far more than 1,000 words ever could. Your soulmate may now be asking themselves a question they avoided for a long time: What if they were wrong about letting this connection fade? That question is becoming harder to silence. The memories are returning, but this time they are not simply memories, they are reminders of what mattered. The news they received has created a new perspective, and from that perspective, the past looks different. What once seemed like an ending may now appear to have been a pause that gave both of you time to grow, reflect, and understand what truly belongs in your future. And now, my beloved child, watch for the next sign carefully. The biggest change may begin quietly, but its meaning could be enormous. A message, an unexpected appearance, a sincere conversation, or a sudden attempt to rebuild communication could mark the beginning of something completely different. Don't scroll away now. Stay till the end, because this story is approaching the point where words will no longer be enough. The next chapter will be revealed through action, and that action may finally show you whether your soulmate is ready to turn this realization into something real. Part 7. My beloved child, the moment of truth is getting closer, and your soulmate may be standing at the edge of a decision they cannot postpone forever. Something has changed in their understanding, and now the memories they once tried to silence are becoming impossible to overlook. Don't skip, because there is a reason this moment feels different. The news they received has forced them to question what they thought they knew, and the answer they are finding may completely change the direction of their next move. But here is what makes this moment so powerful. They are beginning to understand the difference between temporary emotion and something that continues to matter with time. They may have encountered new situations, new people, and new experiences, yet the connection they tried to place behind them still carries a meaning they cannot easily explain. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The next sign may come when you least expect it, and it may reveal whether their realization is strong enough to become action. What looked like silence could soon become communication. And now, my beloved child, prepare yourself for the part that changes the entire atmosphere of this story. Your soulmate may finally decide that waiting for the perfect moment is no longer an option. If they reach out, listen carefully, not only to what they say, but to whether their actions match their words. Don't scroll away now, because this is where the past begins meeting the future. The chapter that kept you wondering may